Yeah, Bonnie Raitt. Now there's some positive mind chatter. Bonnie Raitt singing anything is positive. Now, before the break, we were talking about the creative mind and how extraordinarily creative it is, and that we as human beings are walking, talking, make it up machines. And the stuff that really drives us is the stuff that we make up with, that we don't languish. You don't say, hey, the way I feel is, and you made me mad, and this is why, and da-da-da-da-da. You know, those kind of things we handle because we put it out in the world. But mind chatter is the kind of stuff that goes on between your ears that most of times you don't communicate. You don't say what your mind chatter is, and it just runs you. Okay, and then before the last break, we were talking about how we're walking, talking, make it up machines. We have all kinds of mind chatter, and the only thing that changes our mind chatter is new mind chatter. I mean, think about it. That's what we do. So remember this. And if you want to write this down, except those of you that are driving, don't write this down. All right? Remember.
People are fumbling for
That's
pens,
right. Yeah.
screeching tires.
You
all
know,
over the
screeching
road.
tires. Everybody looking. Well, what happened? Well, I was looking for a pencil. Clay said, write something down. Now, write this down. If you say you can, you can. If you say you can't, you can't. Now, who's the only person that has a say in how your life turns out? If you're going to, if you say, I'm going to have a great day today, you will. If you say, today's going to absolutely suck, guess what? That's the way it's going to turn out. So you see, mind chatter can be positive. It can denote where you're going, how you're going to get there, how much fun you're going to have, and who you're going to be with. And it's all about using your power. So when you
there's this email here from Eric that it kind of relates to that. He says that my daughter, who's in second grade, is struggling when it comes to taking tests.
Oh, boy.
She locks up with anxiety and then performs poorly. Any suggestions for teaching her how to positively talk to herself through that kind of stressful testing situation?
Yeah, especially with kids, and it's rare. I think it's really cool. If he knows that that's happening with his daughter already, he must have a good relationship with his daughter.
Yeah, he's pretty tuned in.
You're pretty tuned in. So the best way to get that handled is to be the question, not the answer. So ask, how did the test go? And if she says, Dad, I got to tell you, I had a hard time with this one, and how I felt was I got all tensed up and everything else. I made a bunch of mistakes I didn't mean to make. And then what you do is, well, how do you think we could change that? What do you do when your mind is your problem? And then what you do is you need to learn to laugh at it. You need to say, okay, let it flow through you and flow out of you. It's not about make it right. So how do you use your mind to change a negative thought into a positive one? Now, think about this. I drive to L.A. every once in a while, and everybody thinks I have a car phone, or a mobile phone going or whatever. And I don't talk on the phone when I'm driving. But I'm talking and flailing my arms around and doing all kinds of stuff. And guess who I'm talking to? The guy in the rearview mirror. My mind makes up more stuff about what I'm going to go do, or what I didn't do I should have done, all right? Or what I don't want to do and have to do, or who I do like and who I don't like, or am I going to get paid for the service or not? They're going to stiff me, or do I have to muscle them, or what? All right? And I got all kinds of things going on, and people are driving next to me going, that old boy's lost it. And the truth is, I'm just talking to my own head. But what I'm doing is I'm learning to laugh at myself. A lot of the talk I have with myself is, boy, where did you come up with that? That was a good one. 3 or 4 years ago, if you'd have said that to me, I probably would have gotten stopped. But now I got you. You're trying to stop me. You're not going to stop me. Nice try. What else you got, big boy? It's all about taking yourself on, all right? Turning negative self-talk into positive self-talk. Now think about that. Turning negative self-talk into positive self-talk. I can do this versus I can't do this. It's that simple. So anytime you're talking to yourself or you're listening to yourself, all right, and you're saying, I can't, I'm going to flunk, I'm not going to do this right, I'm going to hurt myself, I'm going to fall down. I can't bend over that far. I can't lift that much weight. I can't be that much of a star. I can't forgive fast enough. All you got to do is say, yes, I can. Watch me.
Eric, I hope that answers your question. It definitely relates to the I can and I can't.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Well,
okay.
and a positive self-talk is a lot more powerful than, well, it is powerful. It's not, anyway, it's a lot more powerful than negative self-talk.
Oh, yeah. See,
sure.
what happens is we know how to do negative self-talk because we know how to be negative. Most people spend more time there. All right? Positive self-talk leaves you in a place of, let me see now, do I know how to do positive? Do I know how to be positive? And it's not about do I know how? It's am I willing to commit to it? Am I willing to not know how and commit to doing something anyway? And the truth is, that's what kids do. You know, adults don't, kids do. Kids can do anything. They're unstoppable. All right? They don't care. They don't care about how to do things. They just get out and do it. Now, think about this. All you out there in radio listening land, have you ever been a kid? Have you ever been a child? And the answer is yeah. So then there was a time in your life where you could do anything and you didn't care how you did it. You just went and did it. Now, what if as an adult, you could speak to yourself in a way that was always positive? Or, if not always positive, at least be able to be present to and acknowledge that if you're speaking negative, it's just talk. It doesn't have to be real. You don't have to live into your mind chatter unless it's positive or unless you did it, it felt good, and you want more of it. What do you think? You know, that's like hugging and stuff. Or how about this? Chocolate. Chocolate's a good mind chatter topic, wanting more of that. Or how about this? Red licorice. Whoa, now we're talking. That's
Careful, Clay. The fun police is watching you.
Red licorice. Oh, my God. Anybody out there in Radio Land, if you want to send me a gift, red licorice. Soft red licorice. Yeah, whoa, red licorice.
Let me read another anonymous quote here.
Okay, go ahead, Tony.
And just think about the red licorice.
All right, I'm there.
It says, watch your thoughts. They become words. Watch your words. They become actions. Watch your actions. They become habits. Watch your habits. They become character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny.
Oh, man. So let me see now. What does a
Big pile
soft
of red licorice
character look like? Oh, man. We're talking Mr.
It's like a character from Candyland.
Yeah.
Lord Licorice.
We're talking Mr. Flexibility. And I'd even be willing to share some of it if I had enough. You know, you have to have enough before you give so much away.
That's right.
Now, so positive self-talk versus negative self-talk. All right. So you have to be present to the fact that your mind is extremely creative. It's trained. Your experience is to speak yourself to stop. I can't do it. I'm not going to look good doing it. I'm going to do it wrong. People are going to laugh at me. That's what the mind is designed to do. Keep you safe, keep you where you don't step out there and be vulnerable. But, you know, you can change it anytime you want. I've never, ever, ever in my life of 63 years, when my mind said to me, oh, you're going to eat worms, roll over, and die, did I ever end up eating worms, roll over, and die? Never. All right? So, you know, there's habits you can get into. The power of mind chatter is that it can either start you or stop you. It just depends on how you want to play. Mind chatter is good if it serves you and keeps you going. Mind chatter is bad if it stops you and keeps you from going forward. Now, how do you manage mind chatter, all right? There are several methods. One I use constantly I call clearing. Clearing is nothing more than a tool that you use to get all the negative mind chatter out of your mind. You know, it's like when you resist something, it persists. You know, it's like to resist something, to say, that'll never happen to me. I'm not going to ever do that again. That has to stay in your conscious mind. And anything that stays in your conscious mind long enough, you will become. And we can go into all kinds of stories. I can tell you about studies around kids in abusive homes, alcoholics, kids around alcoholics, drug addicts, so on and so forth. They've all gotten to a place in their lives where they said, I'm never going to do this again. And they think about it constantly. And then they automatically wake up and they be it. It surprises the heck out of them. Now, I got to go on another break. And I'll be back here in about a minute. So when you come back, I'm going to tell you about clearing. I'm going to tell you about a tool called My Trouble Tree. I'm going to tell you about some other tools on how to manage very creative minds and minds that just make stuff up. So get on back here. You're listening to Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour, and we're talking about mind chatter.